It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 2nd of December 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to the English edition of Ora News. My name is Oliver, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. Just 7 days after the November 26 earthquake, the President of the Republic convened a closed-door meeting at the National Security Council. Emergency strategies has been the topic of discussions between the head of state, the Prime Minister, the Chief of General Staff of the Armed Forces, the Chief of Emergencies, and the Director of the State Police. During the meeting of the National Security Council, we discussed ensuring closer cooperation and coordination between all emergency responsible institutions until full normality is restored. We must provide the domestic resources and gain international support needed to overcome the severe consequences of this terrible earthquake, said President Meta. The head of state informs that the National Security Council has asked the Prosecutor General, Arto Marku, to bring all those responsible for the negligence that resulted in damaged buildings to justice. We supported the prosecution's move by pushing the investigations forward and to bring all those accountable to be held criminally responsible, said Meta. Sources for RTV Ora News said that there was no invitation for the Democratic Party leader, Luzin Basha, to be part of this roundtable. Prime Minister Rama remained at the meeting for 60 minutes, which was convened by Ilir Meta along with other ministers. The Speaker of the Assembly, Gramos Rucci, first entered the presidency and came out 30 minutes after the end of the Security Council meeting. Next up, tonight, 3 days after the devastating November 26 earthquake that left 51 dead, thousands injured, and caused untold material damage, prosecutors in the two cities decided to launch an investigation. In a statement, the central body of the prosecution clarifies that these are the offenses of unlawful construction and abuse of office. The main suspicions in Durrës are that the aftermath of the earthquake came as a result of illegal constructions and failure by executing engineers and responsible individuals. Regular failure to perform duties by civil servants charged with overseeing these constructions is also suspected as a cause. The Toronto prosecution has also launched an investigation into allegations of abuse of duty and providing assistance for illegal construction. An investigative team is verifying bodies that have approved building permits and seeing whether they were properly implemented by developers. The prosecution has requested preliminary information from the municipality of Tirana on damaged structures and other facilities that have poor conditions. In Croia, the prosecution did not register the proceedings, but on the other hand, all possible evidence was obtained on the ground. Meanwhile, in Cavaya, preliminary verifications were carried out in 4 old buildings that were badly damaged, but no criminal proceedings have been initiated. The acting Prime Minister of Kosovo, Ramush Haradinaj, has requested that those unaffected by the November 26 earthquake should avoid coming to Kosovo. The head of government said on Tuesday that poor citizens are being fooled into believing that if they find shelter in Kosovo's camps, they will then be sent to Germany. We will not leave without accommodating any citizen of Albania who entered the territory of Kosovo, said Haradinaj. Speaking after the homage at the site of the statue of the former President Ibrahim Rugova on his 75th birthday anniversary, Haradinaj added that private initiatives in solidarity are making the situation really difficult with newcomers this winter. According to him, political groups have also the responsibility, even singling out Albin Kurti's Vetvendosia movement. I went to the scene just 4 days after the earthquake. We worked here with others, and there are people who worked all day and all night to make sure everything was okay. Our soldiers were there first on the scene. I welcome the help of anyone and everyone and I hope that the Vetvendosia movement has great mobilization. Let them compete in Albania. Let them deal with Edi Rama, with Ilir Meta, with Luzin Basha, but do not abuse newcomers and do not behave in this terrible way. There are also many residents of Albania who have been providing shelter to others after the deadly accident. The Prizren Innovative Park currently accommodates over 500 people, with another 1,500 being hosted in hotels, private homes, and schools. Over 130 dwellings have been completely destroyed as a result of successive earthquakes in late November. From the field of assessments of Albania and foreign experts, it results that in total there are 3,800 dwellings and 460 heavily damaged buildings. The largest damages were found in the districts of Durrës, Leja, and Tirana. After completing rescue operations, authorities have focused their attention on sheltering homeless people. According to data from the Ministry of Interior, there are 1,900 individuals who have found accommodation in Durrës, Shingen, and Kavaya. The hotels where citizens are accommodated provide uninterrupted medical service and psychological assistance. In the hospitals, the number of people still in intensive care is 29. Of which 22 are receiving services at the trauma hospital, 4 at the Durrës hospital, while 3 others have even been transferred abroad for their treatment. There are many Albanian residents who have opened their doors to shelter those who lost everything after the deadly 6.4 magnitude earthquake on November 26th. Over 500 people are being accommodated at the innovative park of Prizren, with another 1,500 being hosted in hotels, private homes, and schools. Mervet Veshi, with his wife Mirnia and their children, have found peace among Prizren families. They confess that they even saw death with their own eyes. On Sunday, the former K4 military camp that has now been transformed into a shelter for the victims of the earthquake was visited by Prizren's mayor Matar Haskuka and even the Vetvendosia movement leader Albin Kurti. Haskuka says that the innovative park's capacity has been exceeded and now appears to the Kosovo government for help. Since last Tuesday, Albania has been hit by several earthquakes, resulting in extensive material damage in Durrës and Thumana, with at least 51 casualties and over 900 people injured. Students who are family members of those affected by the earthquake in Durrës, Tirana, and Leja will receive a stipend of 15,000 lek per month. The decision has already been published in the official journal and comes in the form of aid package that the government has approved for earthquake victims, such as immediate shelter or special pensions. The decision states that the scholarship will be awarded to students pursuing higher education in public institutions for the 2019 to 2020 academic year. In this case, they will benefit from 5,000 lek more than other young people pursuing education. It will be the university that will identify the eligible students and submit approval lists to the Ministry of Education. Meanwhile, the government has announced that it has been communicating with the 51 victims' families of the November 26 earthquake to discuss concrete steps to ensure everyone is appropriately sheltered and to begin their pension procedures. A student named Erdin from Tirana fled the capital city after the November earthquake. He regained his tranquility at his grandma's house in Gjirokastër. He doesn't want to miss any classes, so he decided to attend the city's art school, and he studies some musical instruments and says he has already adapted to the new environment. There are 7 children, 3 from Tirana and 4 others from Durrës, who are sitting on the sides of the Gjirokastër school. In Velipoja, 8 out of 16 children live in earthquake-stricken areas and have chosen not to abandon school and to continue their studies at the Gjergj Vatmartini school. Parents say successive earthquakes have had little impact on the psychological condition of their children. On Monday, classes began normal in 9 counties, except for Tirana, Durrës, and Leja. In Elbasan, on the other hand, students said that teachers have made sure to advise them on how to act in the event of another earthquake. In all the schools of Durrës and Leja, teaching will resume on December 9th, whereas in Tirana, December 5th was the date chosen to return after the Ministry of Education inspects and assesses all the damages to the schools. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you so much for watching the English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Ora News, thank you and have a good night.